And with that, the Elle Duncan Show, so excited to bring in the biggest guest we've ever had, undoubtedly, on this show.
Yeah,
my guy, Ed Sheeran. Let's go. Objectively.
Come on, Ed.
Hi.
Hey.
Welcome.
Nice to be here.
Fantastic to see you, man.
Yeah, how does the climate here in Miami rival that of Framingham?
I don't think we ever get heat like this, but you never know with the way the world's going, we might do.
Fair.
Yeah.
What's obviously you've traveled globally and you have such an affinity to back home, Framingham. What are some similarities that you like to see from different places that you go?
I mean, each place has, I kind of like, as I travel, it's usually food. So each place has a food that they would always like want. So in Miami, like everywhere I go, people are like, try the Cuban food here, try the Cuban. So I'll always try and do that, basically.
What's your favorite regional food? I got to stick with the food for a second, Gary. What's your favorite like regional food? Like if I'm going here, I'm getting this and it's my favorite.
I don't know. America's great because it's such a like melting pot of so many cultures. So sometimes you'll get like, I remember going to a place that was like a fusion of Japanese food and Italian because the person was half Japanese, half Italian. So that's why I like America because it's fusing everything. Yeah.
That means there's hope for me because I'm half Korean and half Polish.
Yeah.
So somewhere in there,
that's food that I would like to try.
So somewhere in there's like a cabbage remix that I know I could cook up.
Definitely.
Actually, you were just on the West Coast yesterday during the fundraiser at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. It was good. I really like being back in America. It's always like I knew I was coming over to do this F1 stuff, so it was nice to go over and do that.
So okay, I've got to be honest with you, Ed. My guy Gary here is acting as cool as a cucumber. He's fangirling a little bit. You're like his number one. You're like his primo. You're his tops. You're his guy. We were just having this conversation about Ed Sheeran.
Thank you, man.
All right, Ed. So of course we're at ESPN. Been a big fan forever, and everybody that I come across, as far as an icebreaker situation, I always ask them, if you could only choose one artist to listen to, you can only listen to them. Whether it's their primary or they're on feature on a track, whatever, but you can only listen to them the rest of your life. And I asked Elle, and her answer was
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Which obviously you can't go wrong. But then I always lead with Ed Sheeran because you check every single box. So that said, if you could only listen to one artist the rest of your life, who's Ed Sheeran choosing?
I think it might be Elton John. Like I know, I think like I find myself going into his discography. There's a lot there. The only other one would be Stevie because as well, Stevie has a very vast discography, and you can kind of as you said, like there's a song for everything.
Correct.
But yeah, I would say Stevie or Elton.
So Elle Duncan taking the early lead in the Gary versus Elle leaderboard with Ed Sheeran.
We love that. Of course, Gary's been watching like a hawk, and we know that you said already that you're not going to release any new music. I'm interested to pick your brain on the parent front because I know that you also said you've got a 3.5-year-old and a 2-year-old. I've got a 5 and a 3-year-old. And you said that you play your music for your daughters and they like it. And I've got to be honest with you, Ed. Do you trust their musical? Because my children will surprise me. They'll like Stevie Wonder, and then they'll immediately ask for the Kids Bop version of Stevie Wonder, and I can't trust.
Which is offensive, right?
It's offensive, and I can't trust any of their tastes. So I'm just wondering, how can you trust that they know good music?
I think when they start asking for it, when they start, I have one new song that I've been working on I made it last summer, and that's one that my daughter will always ask for. So that's when I'm like, maybe this one's good because she's like, thinks it's catchy, if that makes sense.
Nice.
But yeah, they don't like everything. They don't like everything.
Do they let you know when they don't like everything? What are the tells?
They'll usually ask for Moana.
Do you ever sing it? Make way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I know all the words. I'd probably listen to that soundtrack like 7 times a day, at least. Yeah.
It's a hell of a soundtrack.
If Disney hits you up for to be a feature on a Disney album, is that something that you would jump at? Not just as an artist, but because you're a dad and your daughters are going to come into that sort of evolution of watching movies like that.
Yeah, I think I'd want to write the soundtrack, but I would have to be like, it would have to be really good. It would have to like, what I love about Moana is like, I think Lin-Manuel is like such a great writer anyway, but he's made a soundtrack that for me rivals like Lion King soundtrack. Whereas there's a lot of animated musicals that are like all right, but it would have to be like really good.
Speaking of music and doing it yourself. We'll be at your concert later tonight.
Yeah. Oh, you're coming.
Yeah, of course.
It's the second time we'll see you at the F1 event. I was
Real.
front row in Austin. But when somebody goes to one of your shows for the very first time and sees you mix literally every single beat right there, you mix it, you throw it down, and then obviously you go into the song, like what's the most visceral reaction you've ever seen from somebody just being amazed that you're putting that together on the spot?
Well, I don't know, because I've actually had to start explaining that I am putting it together on the spot.
You said that in Austin too.
Yeah, I played probably the biggest festival in England's a festival called Glastonbury, and I headlined it, and everyone thought that I was playing to a backing track.
Yes.
And so since then I've had to explain. So usually the reaction is quite muted. It's just sort of like, okay, it's just guitar and a backing track. But
Yeah, we love that. This is my first Ed Sheeran concert. So
Cool.
what can I expect today? Are you like what's your philosophy and approach? Because I'm always so intrigued by musical acts. Like, do you start out with a giant hit? Are you just going to hit them in the face right away?
Yeah.
Do you ease in? You got a few of them.
Well, I think that's the power of especially like a show like tonight, because like F1 brings in so many different people, and the people at my show aren't necessarily going to know all my like album cuts, but they are going to know the songs that are on the radio. So
Suckers,
I think,
man.
so I think
Suckers.
but I think you just play the hits, and I think that's what the thing that I love. Like if I went to a Coldplay show and they didn't play "Fix You," I'd feel robbed. so I just in my mind I think, what are the songs that people, if they left, would feel robbed if I hadn't have played? So I just make sure I play them.
I'm not leaving. What are you looking forward to? Of course, we're at F1 and we'll get you out here momentarily here, but what are you looking forward to most this weekend? Third running of the Miami Grand Prix, so they've sort of settled into it a little bit, and maybe you're taking a more active approach this weekend.
I'm getting taken on a lap with George Russell, and he's putting me in the passenger seat, and so that's what I'm looking forward to, is a bit of G-force.
Don't eat before this.
Right.
We went on hot laps. Elle goes on one today. I went on one yesterday. 150 down the backstretch, and they break so hard, Ed, that just make sure the vocal cords are nice and cushioned.
Mate.
All right, it's going to be nuts.
Are you an adrenaline guy?
No.
No.
Not at all. No,
You're
I'm very
about to
much I drive at the speed limit or just below kind of guy.
Nice. 2 hands on the wheel and everything.
Yeah, I like cars, but I'm not like, I wouldn't want to go 150 down a motorway.
Well, guess what? You're about to go 150.
Yeah.
We're getting the wrap here, but Elle, I just want to point out this
Yes,
book for
so
Ed.
this is completely self-aggrandizing,
the
but I
last thing for you,
did Ed just write a book, and I actually wrote it out to your daughters so that you could share them.
Thank
It's
you so
about a
much.
mother and a daughter and the bond that they share, and I know undoubtedly
That's
that
so
bond is
sweet.
really special and something that you enjoy watching.
And you've got. Thank you so much.
Of course.
That's really sweet.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, definitely.
And you got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
I've got a 5-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. What's it like being a full girl dad?
I would say people say that the happiest families are families of 4 with 2 girls, and I would say that is correct. Yeah.
I better get started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've
It's
got
great.
some-
It's great. They're great. They get on really well. I mean, it's like, it used to be like 80% crazy, 20% calm,
Sure.
and now it's about 50-50.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
love that.
You know.
Just wait. Yeah, exactly. You look well rested, which is certainly something that I'm not. So
I'm really not. I'm really not.
you hide it well. Ed Sheeran, thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you.
some time. We'll see you tonight at the
Thank
concert.
you. Thanks for the book
Appreciate
as
it.
well. I
Of
really
course.
appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much. Of course.
Thanks so much.